guys, this is KTV Reviews back doing a new video today for you guys, and welcome to episode 2 on my thoughts on the Child's Play series. As you guys should check out the first episode I did talking about my story of how I got into the Child's Play franchise, or Chucky in general. So anyway, as today, as you see by the thumbnail and the title of this video, I'm going to be reviewing the first 3 Chucky movies, initially under the name titled Child's Play. So this, I guess I'll call this the Child's Play saga of basically of the first 3 movies. Because as the next episode after this, I'll call those movies the Chucky saga. So basically they were, I guess those are like the anime titles of the series in general. So I will be reviewing Child's Play 1, Child's Play 2, and Child's Play 3. As the next episode basically be the last 4 movies. And so then I'll be talking about, in the next video after that will be the ranking of each movie, and talk about the upcoming news on Chucky, and so on. So anyway, let's dive into this. Starting reviewing the first, coincidentally, first movie, Child's Play. Child's Play was made in 1988, as you know, as Chucky kind of entered the horror genre in between, as we were getting Jason, Michael Myers, Freddy, and Pinhead, and Pumpkinhead, and all these different horror icons. Scream don't come until the 90s, so Scream was not here yet. This is when I guess the main 3, Michael, Jason, and Freddy are. They were the main 3 that were showing in that time frame of the 80s. So Chucky comes right in the middle of the 80s genre at that point. So as we start the summary of this movie. As we watch the movie, the first thing you see, a person named Charles Lee Ray running from the detective Mike Norris, as he was shot down close to a toy store, and as the last resort of basically escaping death, he actually used some voodoo ritual and took his soul and placed it inside of a good guy doll. That's basically how we all know now it became Chucky. As at this time, it cuts to a family of Andy and his mother named Karen. He actually wanted a good guy doll for his birthday. And so as his mother was at work, she buys him a good guy doll from a peddler. You know, those, I guess, homeless people, you know, at the times, you know, during those days of kind of like New York too, like homeless people and all that stuff. So she gets one from that person. And basically she doesn't know that that's the doll that's possessed by Charles Lee Ray. So as you know, you get to as she gives it to Andy for his birthday, and after that, as he was babysitting by her friend, as we all know, Maggie, and she was killed by Chucky in this movie. And you know why? She got killed? Because she didn't let him watch TV. You know, kind of almost like kind of a childless thing, huh? See where I think that's where the title comes from. Childish thing to do. Child's play. Hey, you see, it connects, I guess. So yeah, she gets killed. Andy says Chucky did it, and his mother doesn't believe him. And so the next day, he goes to school and basically skips school to go for Chucky to have him to take him to find Eddie Caputo, who was helping him escape from Mike Norris, and kills him by lighting up the stove and blows up the whole house that he was in. And as the police, detective, and the people from the psychiatric ward hospital thinks Andy is responsible for this. So Karen takes the doll home to her house, and she finds out that the doll actually supposed to operate by batteries, because it's kind of weird how he's operating without no batteries. No batteries are included. So she basically, as it gets to my actual kind of favorite part in this movie, of course, it's always a memorable scene, and still this day, as I said, I'm watching the movies, and that scene right here, of course, you stupid, how dare you, all that. I don't want to try to cuss on the video, but that scene right there is always iconic, of course. When he first comes to life, you thinking that is very, very great. I have to replay that every time I see it, because it's an iconic scene. So Chucky escapes. He basically attacks attack Mike Norris because he didn't believe Karen that Chucky's alive, and when she basically told him that Andy was telling the truth the whole time, he doesn't believe her. And she kind of finds out more about Charles Lee Ray and all that stuff. So they have to go find the guy that basically associate with Charles Lee Ray. But as of that point, Chucky already got him and kills him because of the voodoo. And basically, as of Chucky, if he stays inside the doll so long, he'll become morally human, because he will start bleeding and basically be morally like human. Because if you see the doll, he kind of gets more human-like, and makes him look like a real person, like a well, and actually, if you know that the guy that does Chucky movements in the movie, Ed Gill, he did Chucky and Child's Play. This Child's Play, of course, 2, and Bride and Seed. But as it's kind of like like they have a small person move around like Chucky, and then it feels so cool. I like that element so much. It looks so nice. So I really like that very much. And so he becomes more human. So he goes after Andy and basically follows Andy all the way back to the apartment and tries to do the voodoo ritual. And he basically was stopped by Karen and Mike. They first tried to burn him. That was an iconic scene. And then she started to shoot parts of his body off. I'm like, dang. And then after that, they finally shot him in the chest, and they killed him. So that basically ends Child's Play 1. As I say of this movie, This movie is not, it is actually, it's actually a good movie. As you know, this was not my first movie that I seen. As I said in my introduction, it was Bride of Chucky. I saw this movie later on as I tried to see the whole Child's Play franchise in general. So, as this movie, it's some people remember this movie a lot as a younger age because I am not born in the 80s or nothing like that. So, I never saw this movie until after I saw Child's Play 2. So when I see this movie, I see like as you know, because when I saw this, I was like, oh, so this is before these other movies I'm looking at. So that it makes sense that it connects to the story. Basically, it kind of this movie as it will basically try to fill up its backstory of Charles Lee Ray, and it really doesn't in this movie at all until Curse of Chucky when I reviewed that one. But as you know, it doesn't explain nothing behind him. As we know, okay, he's a serial killer and all that, and that's all we know. And we didn't get no story until that movie. So anyway, as I give Child's Play, I give it a 7 out of 10, and it's not a bad movie. You know, it's pretty good. It's still great to watch it. As this tells today, I did watch this movie again, and so it's always memorable, especially that scene I said when he comes to life for the first time, and it's iconic. I can't believe it. So as we going straight to Child's Play 2. Child's Play 2 came out 2 years after Child's Play 1, 1990. So it was a pretty good time frame. As of this, the first movie is owned by MGM. It's not owned by Universal. So Child's Play 2 was made by Universal, and so MGM don't, as MGM still owns the rights to Child's Play 1. And as to now, they actually, I think Diamond City asked them, can they put the Child's Play 1 part of the box set as today, if you have the Chucky complete set, they actually add Child's Play 1 on there too. So basically, because it's kind of be left out, because I have Child's Play 2, 3, Bride, Seed, and I don't have Child's Play 1. So that's why I'm glad they actually did that. They finally let them put Child's Play 1 on the box set with the other Chucky movies. It's like saying you got Nightmare on Elm Street, Dream Master, but you don't have Dream Warriors. That's bad if you don't have that movie on this box set with these other movies. So it's same for Michael Myers too, and all those other movies. So they basically that's what it has. You know, Child's Play 2 was made by Universal, so it was not made by MGM. They had to go to a new movie industry and company as for this movie. So let's get into the story of this movie. As it is, Andy was put into a foster home as his mother was sent away, taken away from him, taken away by his mother, and she basically, I guess they think she was crazy and all this stuff. And basically, she was meant to be in this movie, as I'll talk about at the end of this review. So they had to fix the Chucky doll back up, as you saw what happened to him in Child's Play 1. Got shot up, burned up, shot up. I mean, you know, crazy shit, you know what I mean? And they fixed him back up, as you know, the doll is still possessed by Charles Lee Ray. And already killed a person straight into the factory just like that. I'm like, dang, right in the beginning of this movie, somebody already got killed. Yeah, it's crazy. So, as to this, as it cuts to Andy going to stay with this foster family, he already meets the person there, Kyle. Actually, she's actually was my favorite character in Child's Play 2, right? And as you know, as Chucky is not there yet, he was still at the factory, and basically he hijacks the guy, one of the little attorneys people, the little business people, killed him in the car, suffocating with the bag, and finds out where Andy lives. Where he's living, and all that, and goes to the house and finds him. As you know, there was another good guy doll there named Tommy, and Chucky replaces that doll as himself, and basically still tries to get Andy, try to do the voodoo ritual, and basically still trying to get into Andy's body. As of that, as the boss parents don't believe him and all that, and then you get to him at school, and that's my favorite scene, of course, when Chucky is basically yelling at Andy in the closet, "Open the damn door! Let me out!" and all that kind, and all that, and then of course the teacher scene, of course, man, it's iconic. Like I said, that's why every scene in this movie was great. That's why it's actually my favorite movie. And so, and you get to that as the foster parents they're kind of getting tired of Andy, and basically Andy is still trying to get rid of Chucky, of course, and as he try to face Chucky once and for all, try to get rid of him, try to destroy him, and then one of the foster parents get killed, and basically Andy gets sent back to the foster care, and then Kyle finally believes him that Chucky is the one that did that and actually killed the other foster parent as well. And so she goes and tries to save Andy. She has to go try to save Andy, but Chucky has her as a clutch and has her at his control and try to have him to get Andy. So she gets to the foster care. He kills the owner of the foster care, and after that it has her chasing Chucky and Andy to the factory. And I have to admit, the factory scene is always awesome when I see it. Every time I watch this movie, I like the factory scene so much. I always thinking like, how it'd be cool to see them inside of a place. And of course, as he tries to do the voodoo ritual, still wouldn't work. It was because he getting more human as I said, ties back to the first movie. And so as of that, I like when it was in the Chucky maze. That was amazing. I like that so much. That was a cool scene with them in the Chucky maze. It was great. Okay, and as it gets to that, we have them try and get out the factory and stuff, and Chucky get his hand cut off, and he has to put a knife in as a hand. He gets legs cut off. He got molted into plastic. Oh, he kills the guy, one of the workers, the good guy workers, factory workers as well, and kill one of them. because he already killed the other one that was in the beginning of the movie. So he killed that guy, and he gets legs cut off, molten plastic, and his head boom off. And that was basically the end of Child's Play 2. As we thought, is Chucky defeated once and for all, and that leads to Child's Play 3. So as I said about Child's Play 2, it is my favorite movie. I love this movie. I saw this movie right after I saw Bride of Chucky. Of course, I saw Child's Play 2 on TV. I didn't have like the movie as right now. I do have the DVD of both these, Bride and Child's Play 2. And it's great that this movie is a great sequel to the first movie, and it actually is a good sequel, as I have to say. Out of the Child's Play series, this was a good sequel to the movies. And I like how Chucky is still going after Andy in this movie. It's great, and I'm kind of glad that it's still following format. He's still trying to get Andy because what he done in Child's Play 1, and that's great. Actually, as I heard of this, Catherine Hicks was meant to be in this movie. She probably wouldn't have a big role in the movie, but she was meant to be in this movie. I think Mike too. So they actually were meant to be in this sequel. In the court, it was meant to be a courtroom scene that was meant to be in Child's Play 2, and didn't happen. It kind of happened in Curse, but that scene is they just rehashed that scene to be in that movie. But that was meant to be in Child's Play 2. Like her and like Norris meant to be in this movie, and they tried to defend that Andy is innocent and all that, and didn't happen in this movie. So it was cut out of this movie. There was an alternate ending of Chucky head getting created. So technically, I'm thinking that was probably a teaser that Chucky is not dead, because his piece of his head gets fall into the molten plastic that's inside the machine, and it creates him another head, and he is actually smiling. So that means that he's gonna come back. And initially it did happen in Child's Play 3. So yeah, that was the alternate ending of Child's Play 2, because it did not show that on the DVD, only showed on the TV version of the movie when I first saw it. So of course, Child's Play 2 is iconic, including the music, as you know. So that's why the movie was so great, of course, the music. So that's why I love Child's Play 2 so much, that the theme is so yes, as for Child's Play 2, it is a 10 out of 10 to me. I love the movie. It's my favorite movie, of course. right beside Bride of Chucky. So, of course, when you get to my review Bride of Chucky, there should be no quizzing me, because it was my first movie I seen. So, let's get into the last movie, Child's Play 3. And Child's Play 3 basically came out a year right after Child's Play 2. As the movie basically, it tried to pick up, it basically is supposed to set in 1998. 7 years after the incident in Child's Play 2. Of course, the factory got shut down. The company went in a dark state. The good guy, PayPal, all PlayPal, not PayPal, darn. Oh my god, PlayPal Corporation went into a dark stage of the company falling because of that incident of a boy claimed his doll possessed by a serial killer and all that. And as they finally have the company running again, and Chucky's body was still at the factory. And so when they picked up that body that was from Child's Play 2 that we saw, his head got blew off. They picked up the body and there was blood that was dripping off of the body when they picked it up. And then when the blood went inside the plastic that was in there, and it started bubbling and boiling and create a new body for Chucky. And that's basically where Child's Play 3 basically starts. Basically, they talk about the story of Andy and Charles Lee Ray, brief, and then after that cuts to the CEO from, he actually was in Child's Play 2, and he was in this one too, and he actually gets killed in this one. And the kill of that CEO in this movie was great. I like that. That was a great kill. Like Chucky's sneaking up, planning to kill him, and all that. And it was iconic. Of course, everybody's favorite line, "Don't fuck with the Chuck." Of course, y'all all gonna like that. I know it was a great line for Chucky. And as after he kills the CEO, he finds out where Andy is. He is going to a military school. That's basically where the start of the movie picks up. And of course, I forgot the line that I like. What Chucky says, "You little shit." I like that line too. And as Chucky gets mailed to the Kent military, he's supposed to be sent to Andy Barkley. Then the kid in this movie named Tyler gets him, and he basically figure out that he does have a new body because, as you know, in Child's Play 2, his body was messed up, and they just fixed him his parts and fixed his arms and fixed his legs, and they used the same skull that was still in Child's Play 1 and all that stuff, and just fix his head and everything and all that stuff. So he has a new body because, as you know, as I said, the multi-plastic create a new body, and so he has a new body. And so he tried to get into Tyler, besides not going inside Andy, as he was trying to do in Child's Play 2. He decided to go after another person. So, as he tried to do the ritual on Tyler, it stopped. He almost got crushed in a garbage truck. Of course, I kind of felt bad for the garbage man. Oh my gosh. Then he basically sneaks and try to get Andy. Basically, he was taken away as he found out about him. Like, it'd been a while. Andy, you grown since then and all that stuff, you know. And he tried to he scared Andy and then got him in trouble thinking that he took the doll and it really wasn't him. And then of course Chucky goes after Tyler, that he basically was doing, tried to do. And then after that, the guy that the chief, what's his name? Colonel Cochran, yeah, Colonel Cochran. The one that was talking to Andy about when he came to the military school. He died of a heart attack because Chucky scared him. And of course, Chucky kills the. After that, Chucky kills the barber. Yeah, he kills the barber. After that, I think Chucky went and changed the ammo of the Red Squad. Red Team ammo to actually bullets. And then it messed up the whole Red Team and Blue Team war thing, I guess. And then Shelton actually gets killed, and Whitehurst as well. The two guys that got killed in this movie. And after that, Chucky basically still chasing Tyler, of course, throughout the movie, and all the way to a carnival. They went inside of an amusement ride called the Devil's Lair, and of course it leads to Chucky getting his face cut off. Half his face got cut off. So when I saw it for the first time when I was younger, I was like, oh, so this how he get his stitches in Bride of Chucky? Mm-hmm. So then after that, he tried to do the ritual on Tyler, and Andy stopped him, and then he tried to get Andy again, and then Andy cut off his hand and threw him into the giant fan and basically cuts him up. And that basically ended the movie. Andy gets taken away and all that, and we don't know what happened to him after that. And the movie just ends. So anyway, Child's Play 3, as this movie, as some people did hate this movie a lot. It's kind of like, as I heard, some people were hating on some of the other franchise movies like Freddy and Michael Myers and stuff, as they were still making a lot of those movies, as Child's Play was in the mix of this as well. And so, as I see this, I'm like, as this movie, it was rushed, like, because I'm thinking, like, okay, where's Kyle in this movie? Because we don't know what happened to her after Child's Play 2. So I'm like, okay, would Andy still be living with Kyle? But other than that, I don't know why. As of this, is why people hate on it, because Alex Vincent wasn't in this movie, and I will tell you why he was not in this movie. Because he was still the same as he was in Child's Play 2. So they had to get another actor to play him older. A little bit older. Because he was 8 plus 8, 16. He was 16 in this movie. So they had to have him older. Because if it's set in 7 years after Child's Play 2, 1990, 8, or, yeah, 8, well, 90 is 1990. So, 8 plus 8 is 16, so it's 1998. So this is right before Bride of Chucky. So, as this movie was made in 1991, and as they tried to play it takes place 7 years after Child's Play 2. So basically it makes it 7 to 8 years. I guess 8 years to me, because Andy is 16 in this movie. So it was basically because of that's why people was hating on it because he was not in this, but he was still a kid in the after this movie. As of this, like I said, in this movie, it was meant to be an army of Chuckies, as I heard. There was meant to be like a whole set of Chucky, a good guy doll army of Chuckies. So that means this movie was meant to be an army movie of Chucky. Like, I just imagine that, like, a whole army of Chuckies marching and ready to kill people. Pretty cool concept, I have to say. That would have been pretty cool. It did kind of come in cult. When I talk about cult, you'll see the why it didn't. It wasn't as I was talking about when I review it. As of as you know, I didn't play the Child's Play 3 music or 1 music because I don't want to. I did the music I did play just a couple of minutes ago was a remix of that Child's Play 2 theme. As I listened to music in Child's Play 3, I kind of don't remember the theme that well. But as for Child's Play 1, yeah, me either. So I always like the Child's Play 2 theme because it is memorable, the theme and everything. So, of course, as I said, I like, the movie is kind of weird in some ways. Like, when I think, how Chucky end up inside the barber shop in this movie, in the barber shopping area, where he cuts the hair. How did he get there? Is he there just to kill the guy, or they just put him there in the scene? See, Chucky's scenes in these movies were like very different places. Like, okay, alright, he's walking through the halls of this school. Okay, and now he's in the ammo room making messing with the guns. Then okay, he's doing the and he's still chasing Tyler and all that throughout the movie. So it's kind of like his scenes in these movies were in different areas. He actually was just Chucky in this movie was just there to see people. Hey guys, look, here's Chucky. That's basically in this movie why Chucky was here in this third movie. He was just here to be seen. But as people, that's why people were hating on this movie a lot because of that. And it's kind of like, I don't hate this movie. When I watch it, I actually enjoy the movie. It's kind of like I just sit back and watching it like, that's pretty good. And of course, Chucky's death in this movie is great too. Like him, of course, they screaming when he falls into the fan. Iconic. Of course, Brad Dourif actually nailed that part very well, very well. And it's pretty gruesome to die like that in this movie. And people kind of thought that should have been in the Chucky right there, but no. As you know, but after that, as overall as this movie, this is 6. I don't say it's a bad movie. It's enjoyable to watch. It's not enjoyable to hate on the movie and it's garbage and it's bullshit. This shit. And that's basically, I hate those kind of people that review movies and talk crap about. As you know, as I'm gonna say about this, movies today are not great as movies back then. I actually like older movies, like in the 80s and 90s. They were way better than what I see today. And I kind of thinking of that. There are some good newer movies today, but they're not really that well scrapped. They just messing with franchises, messing up stories, retconning this, never happened, reboot this and say this happened, copy something from a book, drafted from a comic, scrap the old story and reboot a new story. I don't like that. It's stupid. As I'll talk about in the last video about the upcoming Chucky TV series and the new movie is my remake of the first one in that video. But as after this one, it'll be about next video is the last 4 movies in the series. So that is overall of my review on the first 3 Child's Play movies. And the reason why this is called the Child's Play Saga is because in these 3 movies, it all depicts on a child in this movie. Like the first 2, Andy. The third one, Tyler. So that's why I call it the Child's Play Saga, because it was still using the title Child's Play. As the next 4 movies after, it's called the Chucky Saga. And so we basically use this term to basically tell which arc is the, okay, Child's Play Saga, the Chucky Saga. It makes sense. Like, that's why those 2 are different arcs in the series. So yeah, that's all I have to say about these first 3 movies. The first movie, 7 out of 10. Child's Play 2 is a 10 out of 10 for me. My favorite movie. Music, the whole movie is my favorite. I love every bit of that movie. Child's Play 3 is a 6. It's not a bad movie. It's an enjoyable movie. I watched it because I want to know, okay, I want to see how it can connect to Child's Play 2, and then when I watched it, it kind of does connect to Child's Play 2 a little. And it kind of makes sense for the next movie. Chucky, at the end of this movie, he got cut up. So that makes sense why he got the stitches, and I was like, okay, so yeah, he got cut up in that fan. I see it. So yeah. So yeah, that's my review on these 3 movies. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a long video of me talking about this franchise. Of course, these movies I said I was kind of talking about them a little shorter, but I had to put all 3 of them together. I hope the next video won't be like this, because I don't think there's much to say about Bride or Seed, or probably a little bit more about Curse. But I think Cult won't be that long either, because I kind of felt like this movie was, in that. But you'll see the next video, so hope you guys enjoy this one. Like, comment, and subscribe, and share. Check out the first episode of this series on Child's Play. And I hope you guys enjoy this review on Child's Play 1, 2, and 3. So, see you guys next time, and peace.